I said, boom, Wagwan, bro. Now, you might have asked yourself why rappers, songwriters, artists, painters, and other people within the creative industry or entertainment industry tend to use substances such as weed to be more creative, or just in general, why do they, in their interviews, why do they mention weed and in their songs and stuff like that? And where do they get their inspiration from? Well, the truth is, a lot of artists and people who are in the entertainment industry or who are in the creative sphere use these things is because things such as weed tend to release self-judgment. When you are in the creative aspect of life, there's no fixed thing. There's no like, oh, I do this every day, I get this result. There's no like, I clock in, clock out. There's more diversity in what you can do. And as a result, you tend to worry about whether or not you will be able to make something that's people like, or whether or not you can come up with clever bars, or whether or not you even fall off, right? You always talk about the one-hit wonder, people falling off.
Why are you crying?
And when you have all this self-judgment, all this like expectation to one-up yourself or to even break through in the first place, you tend to deal with paralysis by analysis, or is it analysis? Yeah, paralysis by analysis, which is where you have all this information, or you have all this like anxiety, not anxiety, but like all this extra pressure to do well. And as a result, you don't perform at your optimal potential. And what do you tend to do? You go to substances. Usually you should be going to meditation, but weed is a very easy thing to get into it. You start smoking weed, and this tends to release your self-judgment, and you just have more fun, quote unquote, right? And this is how people started overusing it and abusing it to get the same type of results that they used to get when they were using it not as often, right? So we're gonna get into KASH Doll's video. She talks about why she doesn't smoke weed, and I'll just give my 2 cents on commentary. So like the video, subscribe, your daily dose of edutainment. All right, so how you doing today? Hopefully you're doing more and saying less. Let's get into it.
But you know, before, like in the dressing room, hearing them out there or stuff, I'd be all like, oh man. But, yeah.
Some performers, some musicians, when they perform, recording artists, they may be under the influence when they perform.
Yeah.
What's your outlook on that?
I don't know, everybody get their own little, they have their own way of, you know, I don't knock it. I don't have an outlook. It's like, shit, that's what they do. Me, I don't really even drink that much. I don't smoke weed, I don't take no pills, drink lean, all that shit. No, never been that type of person. I got a problem with it? No, that's them. However, I don't see how people like drinking shit to make them sleepy all day. Why the fuck do you want to be asleep? Life is great. Why do you want to be asleep? I don't get that. You know, why do you want to sit here and take all this stuff to make yourself sleepy? I don't like being around guys that want to be sleepy all day. It's like, I'm here. Do you see me? Why are you want to go to sleep? Like, no. So I do have an issue with that. But outside of that, you know, some artists, this is how they catch their vibe. Me, I barely drink, and when I drink, I'm drinking champagne, and I probably drink about 2-3 times out of a month, like for real. Whatever though, but I will. See, but I drink champagne because it keeps me calm. Like when I'm drinking liquor, I might be on a headstand somewhere. Yep, headstand.
You see how she said it helps them catch a vibe? Essentially what it means when she says that, it's like it helps them release their attention, or release any expectation of the outcome of the studio session, the creative session, whatever it is, whether you're a painter, an artist, maybe even an actor or an athlete even, right? You tend to have, to a lesser extent, athlete, but people, even like YouTubers, right? When you are constantly in your own head about, oh, this video didn't do as well as my last video. This song, I need the song to blow up. I need the song to do well. But when you are high, right, you don't really care. You're just like, okay, I'm having fun. The homies are here. I have a shorty here, whatever it is, and let me just see what I make up, right? It's usually the videos that you aren't as serious about, or the songs that you aren't as like nitty gritty about, that tend to do well. It's funny how that works. Sometimes when you can calculate the shit and really like it pops off, but oftentimes it's when you aren't as serious with your shit, or you're not that you're not as serious, but you're not as outcome dependent is when the things actually do well, right? So weed tends to make people have less self-judgment and less expectation of the studio session, the painting session, whatever it is. And that's why people tend to use it. But the problem arises when you start needing it and relying on it every time to freestyle or to paint or whatever it is, right? It's like kind of like placebo effect, right? You make a hit song, you make a very good song because you're smoking weed, and as a result, you're like, okay, so let's replicate it, right? That's why people make remixes. Let's replicate what I did before.
It's something about the girl that just makes my head wanna twirl. Oh, you got me want to tell all them other girls.
Let me smoke more so I can get high and make another hit song. But the reason why it worked in the first place and the reason why it was effective is because you weren't high all the time. If you're always high all the time, then that's when you become sedated and you can't really correlate your experiences in life with your conscious self and your unconscious self can't correlate with each other, because if you're constantly smoking weed, it's essentially going towards the unconscious side for the most of the time, right? And you can't really experience proper things in life. So when you smoke weed, it tends to open your mind and open your horizon and expand you to other different energies ranging from your subconscious mind to your unconscious mind. And artists in particular tend to use it so they can break through their self-judgments, flow better, and improvise their lyrics a lot better without the pressure, oh, I need this album to do well, I need this song to do well. It's just like, okay, let me just go off the cuff. I have a plan, a general plan in mind, but let me just not be attached to the outcome of the video or the outcome of the song or the bar, whatever it is, right? So that's essentially why most artists or most people in the entertainment industry smoke weed.
Handstand. Let's see, pop it. Yup.
When it comes to the crowds, because you said there were some crowds that may have not known you back in the day.
Right.
How did you deal with that? Did you?
I make them know me. That's what I do. When they don't know me, I make them know me.
Now that was just a small little clip. I thought there might be more, but that was just a small little clip that she talked about with regards to why she doesn't smoke weed or alcohol for that matter. But the reason, so now you know, right? The reason why a lot of artists do it is because, you know, they're subconscious, right? You know, you see Lil Nas X with the Old Town Road.
Until I can't no more. I got the horses in the back.
You make one song or a couple songs that, you know, do well. Now you constantly have to follow up with your previous stuff, right? It's like you did one great video. You had one video with 1 million views. Now what's next? It's always constantly like, what's next? Like, how can I top it? How can I remix the video? How can I replicate it? And that's why when you see a YouTuber make one video that does well, he tends to make similar videos to that until he can ride the wave of that video, right? So a lot of artists, low key, or I guess high key, struggle with the fear of falling off, right? Or the idea of being a one-hit wonder. So they'll tend to use weed and other substances to relieve that stress, that tension of being outcome dependent. So arguably one of the best ways for you to not need weed or need extraneous substances to do well is to meditate. Meditation throughout this whole process will be your best friend if you are trying to quit weed, if you're trying to quit any type of substance, and not be so much in your own head. Meditation, getting the habit of just breathing, breathing through your nose, out of your mouth, and let's get high on life rather than high on substances. That was a corny one. These niggas corny. R.I.P. Pop Smoke. These niggas corny.
Mr. Smoke, were you bothering Rob?
I don't talk to these niggas, cause a lot of these niggas be corny.
These niggas corny. But yeah, essentially that's the reason why, right? When you are too much in your own head and that's why people social drink, right? They drink in social settings in order for them to be less anxious and to be more free, right? And for a lot of people, when they are in the creative industry and there's not like a set job per se or a set like clocking type of thing, it's like you need inspiration and you don't want to always be in your own head, or you have issues going on in your interpersonal relationships or your financial relationships or financial issues, and that is affecting your desire to even create new things or to even make better things, right? So you use these things to get that thing off of your mind. But yo, if you want to quit long term or just for a tolerance break or for a drug test coming up, links in the description for all relevant material. And if you want to increase your financial literacy, I got you covered as well. But yo, God bless, much love, peace and joy, namaste. Always remember, it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. Hopefully, you enjoyed this installment of edutainment. And yeah, as always, I'm doing more and saying less. Deuces.
I know you stay up looking at your life and you didn't think it'd end like this. I know you stay awake trying to make the mistakes that you made feel right.